So coming back to Stanford, your roommate at Stanford was responsible for getting you your first
Mike Boych,
first job with Apple. Now, my organisation, my members, it's all about networking, business networking. Now, considering 20, 30 years ago, that wasn't even a chapter in a marketing book. It's now a multi-million-pound industry. How important has your network been to you?
My network, starting from Stanford, has been extremely important to me. Arguably, one of the most valuable things, if not the most valuable thing I got out of going to Stanford is the network I got out of Stanford, including Mike Boych. I mean, arguably, if I had not gone to Stanford and met Mike Boych is the person who got me a job at Apple. So, maybe today I would still be counting diamonds. Who knows? So, Stanford was a huge influence in my life, as was UCLA, where I got an MBA. So I'll give you the key to all of networking. Okay, so you have a lot of business readers and viewers. Okay, so this is going to be the price of admission right now. So here's my pearl of networking wisdom, and I learned it from a guy named Darcy Rezak. I only call him Darcy. I don't know how you pronounce his last name. Out of Vancouver. He said that if you go to a networking event or any event, basically when you meet people, you should always default to a yes attitude. And you should be asking yourself, how can I help the other person? Which is very different from most people. Most people are wondering, how can this person help me? If this person can't help me, I'm wasting my time, right? So have you ever been to like a cocktail party and you're talking to somebody, like I see somebody over there says, I gotta go, right? In other words, he's blowing you off because he's figured that you're not as important. You can't do as much for me as that guy can do for me. So I'm going to blow you off, cut my losses short with you, and go see that guy. Guess what? You'll never help me, right? I mean, you've been insulted.
Absolutely.
And you should not. I mean, that's how the game works. And so I'm telling you that if I'm talking to you, I'm sitting here, I'm trying to figure out how can I help you, right? So I'm figuring, okay, so what I can do for you and Sarah is I can tweet out to my closest 330,000 friends that they should visit your blog or they should go watch video or whatever. And literally that's how I'm thinking. I was at a speech and I met the PR person for a cupcake company in the Bay Area. And so I was sitting there and she's telling me that the cupcake company called Sprinkles was sponsoring the conference. And I said, I know Sprinkles. It's at the Stanford Shopping Center, but there's always a line to get in. It's like you have to wait to go buy cupcakes. And she said, guy, we just came out with this iPhone app. And the way the iPhone app works is you place your order on the iPhone, and then you go straight to the counter. You skip the line because they've got the order. I said, really? That's a big advantage. So then I thought, thinking, more people should know about this iPhone app. So right there, I tweeted out to my closest 330,000 friends, did you know that now there's a Sprinkles iPhone app? So now all these people, so it was good for her because she's a PR firm, so she wants to impress her client that she got somebody to tell 330,000 people to go get the iPhone app. So it's good for her. It was good for me because it gives me a sense of helping people. And it's also good for me because now I know how to get cupcakes much faster.
I shall tell one of my mentees.
And
I will take that to them.
It's good for everybody.
Absolutely.
And so, I think that's what makes me a good networker. It's because I'm thinking, not what she can do for me. I'm thinking, how can I do something for her?
So it's the same principle with online social networking, because it always astounds me how people behind a monitor don't follow the same etiquette that you would face to face.
It is rather surprising. Now, believe me, I have done things online that I would not do in person. Don't get me wrong. But generally speaking, if you could just maintain that same attitude. In fact, arguably it's easier because most people deteriorate online. So just the act of answering email makes people enchanting. And I know this is true because I try to answer every email. I don't succeed, okay, but I try. I try harder than most people. And you'd be amazed at how many people, I turn them down. I can't do something for them, but they say, just thank you for even answering. I didn't even expect you to answer. So in a sense, I enchanted them by saying no. And it happens every day.
That's
Every
something
day.
I learned from the book, actually, was say no, but don't actually say no. Say maybe later.
Well, but if you say maybe later, it should really be true. I mean, if it's no, what I do now, I'll tell you one thing I've done is, lots of people would like me to go across the world to speak for them for free.
Sure.
Okay, and I will not do it. I will not do it because I have 4 children, and I told my wife I will not get on an airplane unless they're paying me. Because frankly, if I get on an airplane and it takes 2 or 3 days out of my life, that's 2 or 3 days I don't have with my family.
But it also means you prioritize.
And there's a price. The price is you have to pay. So that's something I put into place. And then I did something even funnier. So lots of people ask me to critique their PowerPoints. Okay? For their pitches. And to critique a PowerPoint, it takes 30 minutes to 60 minutes. And I finally figured out that I'm going to see how badly people want me to critique their PowerPoints. Because anyway, I would love to send an email to Wayne Gretzky and say, I've attached a film of me playing hockey. Could you just go over the film and give me some tips about how to play hockey better? Wayne, take an hour, right? Just watch the game film, send me some tips. How hard could that be, Wayne? I don't even know Wayne, okay? So I figured I would never do that. So why would these people do that? So now I have what's called the Kawasaki 2020 plan. And the 2020 plan is, if you want me to critique your PowerPoint, if you prove that you bought 20 copies of Enchantment, you can send me a PowerPoint presentation with up to 20 slides, and I will critique it for you.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, so that's the deal. So 20 of my books, depending on where you buy it, $400, 400 pounds, or something like that, right? So if you're really serious, and if you really believe that I know what I'm talking about, which is 2 big ifs, you would say, for $400, plus you get the books, $400, that's a bargain. Like if Wayne Gretzky said, Guy, for $400, if you buy 20 copies of my book, I will critique your skating style, I would do it in a second, right? So, not that I'm Wayne Gretzky, but this is an interesting challenge. So some people they don't answer after that, right? So they took a flyer, they said, I'll send my PowerPoint to Guy, maybe he's a sucker and he'll respond.
Is that still a valid offer?
Yeah, that's a valid offer.
So one of the best marketing things I ever did was buy 50 copies of The Richest Man in Babylon, which I sent out to key clients and people I wanted to influence.
Yeah.
I didn't realise I could get something in return, so maybe there's some gifts coming in the post.
I'm a better deal.
So Guy, tell me what's next?
What's next for who?
For you.
Oh, I'm heads down marketing this book for, I don't know, another 6 months. Book is interesting, it was on the New York Times bestseller list the first week it was eligible. I think it fell off the second week. And now the question is, to use Jeffrey Moore's terminology, does it cross the chasm and become a mainstream book? Or did I get all the Guy Kawasaki fans and early adopters? Did I get everybody who's going to read it ever already? I don't know the answer to that question. I hope it doesn't just fall off the cliff. So now is the hard part. The easy part, with all the pent-up demand, no problem. Sell those copies. Now it's, do women who read her blog believe her and buy the book? Probably. But even more important, do friends of the women who believed her get told to buy the book? Because if that's true, then Marie Smith and I will be buying a Porsche.
Well, I hope you achieve the Porsche. I really do.
Well, that's not the goal in life, but it makes for interesting copy, right? Nothing would give me greater pleasure than buying Marie Smith a turquoise. It's not Marie. I keep saying Marie. It's Mary. Like it's calamari, right? That's what she says, right? It's like calamari. So it's Mary Smith, not Marie. Mary Smith. And it's going to be like that color.
Well, Guy, I really appreciate your time today. You've been a great sport. It's been fabulous talking to you, and best of luck with it. And certainly, I thought it was a fantastic book, and I'm going to be endorsing it.
Well, you should buy 50 copies and give it to me.
Do you know what? I don't even use PowerPoint slides for presentations, but I'm thinking of starting. So, thanks very much for your time.
Thank you.